for January 2022. Happy New Year, everybody. I'm so glad that you've come back to see us for this STEM video. And today we are going to be making chomping dragon heads. We're going to be working with simple machines and learning the science behind those. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is explain the supplies that you're going to be getting in your kit and that you'll need to supply on your own. So in your kit, you're going to be getting some cardboard. And this is a good sturdy kind of cardboard. This is from a box that you might get from like a delivery, like Amazon or something. It's the thicker cardboard. You're also going to be getting some brads, which are these little metal things. Hold one up like this, Nora, so that they can see it. Which are these little metal things. Each person who signed up for a kit's going to get 5 or 6 of them. And then you might have a couple extra too, just in case. We're also going to be giving you some various paints in your kit. The things that you'll need to supply on your own include some kind of paintbrush to apply the paint. You'll also need to have a ruler and a sharp pencil. You'll need a cutting board to do some of your cutting, and then of course you're going to need your cutting utensils, which can be scissors or this is a box cutter. If you are using these materials, you need to be extra safe and extra careful and have an adult help you with that. Okay? So, what we're going to be talking about today is work and how to make it easier. Now, we're not talking about the kind of work you might be thinking about, which is the kind of work that maybe your grown-ups in your house do, or like homework that you have to do. We're talking about the scientific definition of work, which means the force required to move an object. Okay? Now, you may have that kind of work. You may have heard about this in school some, or maybe you haven't yet. That's okay. There are ways to make work, that kind of work, easier, to lessen the amount of force needed to move the object, or to put it another way, to make the object move farther with the same amount of force. And we use 6 kinds of simple machines to help make that kind of work easier. So there are 6 kinds of simple machines. They are, do you guys know what any of the simple machines are?
I learned about what I forgot. Pulleys.
Pulleys is one.
Oh.
Yep.
Levers.
Levers is one. Yep.
I don't know, but I'm gonna take a wild guess.
Go for it.
Gears.
Gears. Oh, those are a kind of pulley. Those are a kind of pulley, which is good. Yes.
Buttons.
No.
Hold on. Screws.
Screws is one. So we have levers, screws, pulleys, inclined plane, which is like a ramp, a wedge, and a wheel and axle.
Oh.
Okay? So those are the 6 kinds of simple machines. Now you can combine a number of simple machines together to make a complex machine. You can combine some of the same simple machine over and over again. All of these things are basically just to help us move an object either further or with less force so that it's easier for us to move that object. So think of a ramp on the back of a moving truck. The work is getting the box with all your stuff in it into the back of the truck. Lifting that box and holding it the whole way up and then lifting it onto the truck can be very hard. But if you have a ramp and maybe a dolly that has some wheels on it, it's easier. It requires less force to move that same object
Or a forklift.
to the same place. Or a forklift. That's more of a complex machine, though. That's it.
Or you could use a pulley where you could like put it in the basket.
Yeah, and pull it up like that. That's exactly what that is. It's getting the object from the ground up to wherever the pulley's going with less force, just pulling on the rope instead of lifting that box all the way up. Not right now. So, if you are interested in learning more about the individual kinds of simple machines, or learning about simple machines just in general. We have a number of books on them at the library. In fact, we have one that helps you learn about them by building them with Lego. So we have a Lego book on simple machines, which is pretty cool.
I'm going
We
to check that one out.
we also have some fun DVDs that teach you about them, like a Bill Nye the Science Guy DVD that's all about simple machines. So if you're interested in that, come check them out at the library. What we're going to focus on today specifically is levers. Now, levers have three parts. They have a fulcrum, which is the point where the lever moves. The object, which is the load, which is the object, sorry I had that backwards, and then the effort, which is how much you have to push on it to get it to move. So, think of a seesaw or a teeter-totter at a playground. That is an example of a lever. Now, if you went to a playground with your friend, would you be able to pick your friend all the way up into the sky, like if they were sitting on a seesaw, without hurting your back or trying really, really hard? No. But if you get on a seesaw, which is a lever, and you push with your legs, your friend goes down and then you go up, and then back and forth like that, without much effort. So it lessens the amount of effort to move the object, which would be your friend on the other side. And the point where the teeter-totter pivots, that's the fulcrum. The load would be the kid on either end of the seesaw. So that's how a lever works. So what we're going to do is we're going to make some levers out of cardboard, and we're going to connect them together using the brads, which are going to represent our fulcrum points. And we're going to make a chomping dragon head that can pick things up off the ground for us by using these levers to help us do our work, which might be picking up our bedrooms. Okay, so we're going to need to measure out.
I need to do promptly every day.
Yes.
Promptly? How do you do
So,
that?
what we're going to do is we're going to measure out 6 strips of cardboard. It doesn't matter how thick or long that they are, just make sure that they're all about the same. And then you can kind of play with and be engineers and see if it matters, whether the levers are longer or if they're thicker. You can kind of play with it. And then we're also going to cut our dragon head out of some cardboard. So for the pieces of cardboard that we have, this big part, what we're going to do is we can measure 6 strips going this way, and then this smaller rectangle up here can be our dragon head. And what we're going to do to cut the dragon head out is we're just going to draw the zigzags of the teeth, and that'll be where we cut it, so that the teeth line up when the head opens, when the mouth opens and closes.
So what?
Okay, so we're continuing to do our work here. We have measured out our strips. We have 6 just about equal strips. They're cutting their strips over here. We have our dragon head cut out, and Abel is coming up with some designs for the different teeth that they want to do on their dragon head when they get there. I just wanted to let you know that when you do the teeth, if you just do one zigzag line down, however you want to design your teeth, then when you cut it, both the top and the bottom will have teeth on them. So you don't have to draw top teeth and bottom teeth. And then they'll match up when you open and close your mouth. So we're going to keep working, and we'll check back in when we get all of our pieces cut. All right, so we have most of our pieces cut out here. Abel, you want to show them the strips that you guys cut out for your dragon? All right, so here are their strips.
Wait, we have one more.
Oh, there they are. We got 6 strips. And then Nora and I cut some strips out for our dragon. They're here. So they're slightly different sizes, so we'll see if there's a big difference. Let me see one of your strips, Abel. Okay. Actually, they're pretty spot on to about the exact same size, so we won't be able to see a difference.
My teeth.
All right, and then Nora and I got our teeth drawn on our dragon head and cut out. It is a little tricky to cut with the box cutter. That's what Evie's working on right now with her teeth and dragon head. So it's a little tricky. You're going to need some adult help. My advice to you is to make slightly bigger teeth. And if you need to use a Sharpie to draw on the cardboard, that might make it a little bit easier. Okay, God bless you. Now we're going to decorate our dragon pieces. So there are a number of ways that you can do that. You can use paint, which we're going to provide you in your kit, and which we're going to use. You can use markers to color on the cardboard, or you can use construction paper that you cut out and glue to the cardboard. So any of those is going to work. We're going to give you some paint so you can do it that way if you like. And that's going to be the art part of our STEAM project. I forgot to mention that this is actually a STEAM activity instead of just a STEM activity. We did some math when we measured our strips and cut them out. We're going to do some engineering when we put our pieces all together. We talked about the science of simple machines, and we're going to use art to decorate our dragons. So we're going to take a break and we're going to paint all of our pieces, and we'll come back and we'll show you what they look like and show you how to put them together. Okay, so we have taken a little break. We have painted all of our pieces. If you guys want to show off some of your pieces, they have taken a minute to dry, and now we're going to assemble them. Oh, some of them aren't all the way dry. We got some orange paint on our thumb here. That's okay. But here, why don't we just pick it up like this?
Oh God, here's some more.
All right, so in your kit, you will get some paint. These are just the paints that we happen to have here at our house. So you might get a different set of colors than what we got. But probably we'll get green because that's like a typical dragon color. And then they have added their eyes with Sharpie markers after the paint has dried. And then we even added some scales and some spikes on this one after they dried. So
mine aren't that good.
this is the art part of your STEAM activity. You get to be creative. You get to decide what you want your dragon to look like, okay? No. So now we're going to assemble our dragons. So on each of our strips, we are going to poke 3 holes. You need to poke a hole on either end and one in the middle. Get it as close to the middle as you can. Just a minute. Yep, we're going to use the cutting board to poke it through with a sharp pencil. Okay? And these are going to become our levers. And the hole in the middle is going to become our fulcrum point.
Levers.
Okay? All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to poke those holes, and then on your dragon head, where you want your levers to attach to, so the side that's opposite the eye, you're going to poke a hole here on the top piece and a hole here on the bottom piece. Okay? Try to make them so that your holes are as close to the middle of your strip so that they don't accidentally rip or come out the end. Okay? Okay, so we have all of the holes punched in all of our pieces, and now we're going to use the brads to attach them. So this is going to be our bottom piece, and you're going to poke the brad through one hole and then through the other hole, and on the back side you're going to bend the end of the brad so that it stays in place. Okay.
So do I do this with the orange one?
Hold on. Yeah, you can do that with the orange one.
All right, buddy.
So like this. Right, let me show you up close
It's too
what it
thick.
looks like. So our cardboard has been a little thick, so I had to squeeze it together to get it to bend. So let me help you with that. You just kind of push the brad into the cardboard a little bit.
This is really thick.
It will.
Hey, stop touching
It
that.
will work.
Hey.
Okay. Then
I don't think this is working.
the middles line up like so, and you put another brad in there. Starting with the head here, we have a brad connecting the head to the first lever, and a brad connecting the bottom of the head to the second lever. And we have a brad in the center connecting these 2 levers, and that's going to act as our fulcrum. Okay? Then we're going to take our next color. You've got 6 strips of cardboard that you have finished connecting with all of your brads. where each strip of cardboard has become a lever and it is connected to the next lever at the fulcrum point. Okay, so essentially what we have here is we have 6 levers that we have connected to create one mega lever. Okay, and so the holes that you put on the end of whatever these pieces are, you're not going to end up using, but it's just easier to do your holes that way until you know what pieces are going to go where. Okay, so you just hold the 2 ends and you can open and extend your lever, and you can use it to try and pick things up, see if you can get it to open wider or bigger, and now you can go be engineers and kind of play with it and refine the process, see if there's a certain length of lever that works better, see if the brads get put together a different way, a little bit better. Yep, see, these brads are a little bit too short and this cardboard's a little thick, and so they're kind of having a hard time sticking in there. So if you just push them real hard into the cardboard a little bit, then you should be able to get them to work just fine. So we have used our simple machines to create a chomping dragon head with this STEAM activity. I'm so glad that you joined us with this activity, and we look forward to you joining us next month with our next STEM activity. Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Bye.